Greetings and welcome to the energy of Taurus. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. Please take only what you will. Thank you for tuning into the channel. We are looking into the month of September 2023. Within this month, we'll be looking at karma as well as a look into the quantum triangle. The quantum triangle is a 6-card spread that triangulates two triangles and allows for an amount of translocation, the ability to bring in a sense of ascension through two realities of past, present, and future. So we'll look into that. I do thank you for tuning into the channel, and we'll go ahead and get started now. For the month of September 2023, for the energy of Taurus, Venus and the second house is open. All right. Okay, interesting. So for this month so far, we have the Three of Rods in the reverse. And this has to do with Jupiter, primarily Jupiter, but Jupiter that is hidden, Jupiter that is reversed. When you turn Jupiter upside down, you get the third house, okay? And the third house also activates the dormant qualities of Gemini, the solar energy of Gemini, which is an interesting interpretation. Usually it's through the sun's card, and there's a pyramid or some sort of altar and two twins fighting in front of it. And that is what is indicated through this fire, this hidden fire of the solar energy and mirrors that reflect this light. There's something about karma that is tied to networks, your friends, hidden friends that will bring in a sense of light. There's also a sense of impatience when it comes to this. It's like fighting against Jupiter's gifts, or the gift of Jupiter is hidden for this month. Usually it has to do with a sense of wisdom or philosophy, a way of thinking, a way of like doing something and projecting outward into the universe to get an effect, to do something, to gain knowledge through that doing. Okay, the mutability of the third and the ninth axis is activated during this month, which allows for changeability, the ability to shift or be plastic, to rematerialize something, especially when it comes to relationships, familiar relationships, voicing, communication, and also communication abroad. The idea here is to go deeply within and to look in your most immediate environment to push things outwardly into the ninth house, okay? This also has to do with education systems, trying to do the right thing in terms of learning or the path of initiation to Guru. The Guru is hidden, the gift is hidden, and it's important for you to look within, especially your community and your most immediate environment, to find mirrors, to find twins who would work with you. In the past karmic position, we have the Seven of Rods in the upright. In the future, we have the Five of Swords. Seven of Rods indicates Leo's energy, at least in Leo as well as Aries, in terms of the fire, into the rod's fire element. Now, what I see here is the addition or rather the difference of the 7 and the 3, which creates a 4 of Rods energy. You don't have to look very far to find that you are already working with others in terms of mirrors and other people who will bring forward a foundation for you. This foundation is something that you've worked on. It has to do with joint efforts. But the funny thing is that you've been sort of blocking out certain things, protecting your path for a while. When it comes to, especially this month, there's a possibility of letting loose a burden. And also acting and reacting in such a way that you get your most immediate thing, whatever it is that you deserve. There's a sense of retribution here. You get what you deserve. But the thing is that the impatience that you may have because of Jupiter's debilitation here, and then the activation of the third and the ninth axis, there's a possibility of kind of having it already. You have come from a place of the Six of Rods, moving to the Seven. You're protecting your stuff. There is a sense of heaviness in this work, but there also is a sense that you've been inspiring others to do things. What it moves towards is the Five of Swords. You're getting away with something, a hidden gift, getting away with a hidden gift this month. This has to do with health, primarily the ability to be grounded, to be really in touch with Mother Earth and the force of gravity, being able to predict or perhaps bring in a sense of geomancy into your predicament. And this has to do with acupuncture, it has to do with pendulum, it has to do with casting lots and being fortunate in terms of that casting. Moving from the 8 to the 10 of Pentacles, we have here a path of almost completion when it comes to the outcome. But you have to go away from a reactive way of doing things, very much reactive in terms of trying to protect your territory, your domain, from especially people who you would rather not work with. But in that doing, in that moving away from them, there is a possibility of really carrying something, getting away with something, in an Aquarian way, especially being detached and coming into a sense of wholeness in that action. There also here is a hidden truth, one that has to do with intuition that may be blocked in the past. And it's important for you to learn from this type of block, a voice that needs to be heard, a secret that needs to be known. And it leads to a place of blockage when it comes to the 3 sequence, the three of rods, 1, 2, 3 here, and then the 5 of rods in reverse. There's something about it where what you've been waiting for has been a way of canceling out this block, something like that, canceling out this block. Now let's move into the quantum triangle. And the quantum triangle is still in an experimental evolution, let's call it. I'm going to use the Picasso deck, Picasso's Lovers deck. And the 15th owner of this, the 10th owner, was Pablo Picasso's lover at one point, I believe in Spain. So I'll go ahead and use this deck. Whoa, powerful. And we're going to focus on 3. So we're focusing primarily on how others will help you to get to where you need to be. Transformation. And 6. Transformation, doing things differently, obeying to disobey, disobeying to obey, trying to fight a system, giving away that system to get what you need, which is a type of release. In tapas, which is a form of discipline, the more you do, the more you discipline yourself or get rid of your materiality, the more you gain in terms of spiritual wealth. Okay, so Gemini is very strongly activated in the ascendant position. Here are 2 triangles, 1 and 2. Now, it's the second triangle that is generating quite a bit in terms of major arcana. We have the World as well as the Lovers. The third house is activated. We also have here the Fixed Cross activated in the World card. And the Fixed Cross is the 2, 8, 9, and 11. 2, 8, 11, and there's one more. 2, 8, 5. Yeah, the fifth house, Leo's energy. Temperance, as well as the Aquila, Scorpio's energy, 8 and 9. Okay, so before I get too lost, we're looking here at a past that has to do with getting out of a deep commitment, something that you've invested in. And this is a way of seeing, it's a perspective, getting out of a perspective, letting the world shift and transform from the 8 to the 9 axis, seeing a new perspective in a new moon cycle. This perspective comes through the emulation of the mirror, of the speculum, of any technology that would harness consciousness, and seeing that in the mirror. It's like letting go of what is expected, the 9, and then the ace is buried. The 9 and the ace is buried. There's something about a perspective in the past of expectation that is letting go. It has to do with a deep commitment, family, or a relationship. There's also a possibility of transforming through this process. It moves from the World card to the Lovers card and the Page of Swords. Page of Swords shows up twice for you in the karma reading, as well as in the Ascendant position. This is the Ascendant position. There's a possibility of you exploring your options when it comes to especially the 3rd house and the 6th house. There is a magical quality about you that is embracing the elements of air, primarily. The thought, the intellect, the mind, and being very objective, being very detached in terms of the triplicity of air is going to be in your favor. You're going to have many options. People will try to get your attention, and lovers will come your way, at least in terms in this month in particular, September. The activation of the 3 and the 6 allows for a perfection of path when it comes to mind and neural capacities. The ability to rethink and then meditate on a type of groove will be very apparent. And you will be able to detach yourself from this and see the algorithm, to see the sort of neural synapses create themselves. There's a great deal of thinking, objective thinking, being very objective and not being attached at all to anything, especially people who throw themselves at you or that gain your interest or that want your attention. You will be learning from this process. There's an old way of thinking, an old portal that closes and allows for you to be free to choose something new, but then a clear detachment from everything. What this moves towards is the 8 of Cups, okay? A challenge with the 8 of Swords. So there's 8 and, the 9 of Cups rather. 9 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. So the 8 of Swords, there is a feeling that you have to be sort of stuck in an old way of doing things. There is a sense of being isolated even in the most public of places. You are coming through in terms of a future position within the quantum triangle of being very detached, being unavailable in some sort of way. And it allows you to be meditative, to come to a place of stillness, to see the crisis of others, let's say. And people will try to throw crisis at you, and you will learn from this process. The difference is the 9 from the 10. When you have 10 in the negative position and 9 of cups, then you have the Ace of Cups in the reverse. This Ace of Cups that's being brought down, and the 9 that mirror each other in future and past, create a type of negation. The 9 cancels out the 9 and then leaves the Ace of Cups on the horizon. It's kind of like a cup that spills. And the more you look into a future or past position, then there's this sense that the cup is there, the love is there, but then the emotions are gone, something like this. And then the portals are also sort of mirroring each other here with the, this is a great deck, with the 8 of Swords and the World card here. There's a type of mirroring that has to do with the mirroring of the mind being able to see and perceive the past, perceive anything from the past, and not deal with like the repetitions of that, to see where your expectations lie, to see how certain things happen when you actually go out, reach for them in the past, and then the cup sort of falls over. And that's the whole futility of the 10 of Cups in reverse. There's something very dry and not thirsty, but content in the way Taurus is embracing a stillness in this month. It's very strongly indicated. The page of Swords will allow you to be an initiate in the paths of love and not really sort of partake in any of them. And that makes you lovable somehow. That's what I'm seeing for this month. There's a possibility of you really doing things your own way. And it's funny because the more you deny that you are not influenced by a higher order, the more that you give off naturally. You give off like your energy, your resources, your time naturally to the places that matter, that actually would have an effect, that actually would benefit from your time, okay? And this might be a burden to you. It's like you have to give away. You have to give away and then find a place. Yeah, that's strong. Any advice? It would be important to note that what you've been moving towards in terms of like this donation, let's say, of your energy, this donation, it requires a very still space, a point where you're going to have options to donate your efforts to. And the more you think less about that process, the more you would benefit in terms of in terms of the spiritual path of detachment, to detach from especially options, the futility of Maya, of everything that goes on in the illusory capacity of expectation, especially with that in which you think you would be most satiated by what you drink, by what you imbibe. The idea here is to become very, very clear with the mind and structure, in a way, the clarity of mind to foster a sense of the path of initiation and purify the grooves of your mind, your sanskar, the cycles that you go through, be aware of it, so that in that there is almost a perfect objectivity or a way of materializing things by giving away. It's very strange how that works. But that is what I have for the energy of Taurus this month. Sorry if I've been sort of slipping up in terms of fluidity. I do wish you well, and please take care now. Thank you, my dear Taurus. Bye-bye.